Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you my face palette collection video. Now I did bend the rules a little bit. I did do face palettes, highlighter palettes, bronzer palettes, blush palettes. I kind of put them all in together, and I must say I don't have as many face palettes as I thought, so pat on the back for that. I might have some singles I haven't shown you guys, but you know, let's not debate semantics over here. Anyway, if you guys are curious to see my face palette collection, then just keep watching. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on my YouTube channel. If you like to see haul videos, collection videos, anti-haul videos, will I buy it, and first impressions, then I would highly recommend subscribing to my channel and turning on the post notifications so you are notified every time I post, which is every day in the month of December. Up until Christmas, we'll be hanging out, talking about all the makeup things. So thank you guys so much for watching. And now let's get into the video. So the first palette I want to show you is this Kevyn Aucoin highlighter palette. I just got this from Look Fantastic. I'm going to be featuring this in a holiday makeup look video that I'm going to film in partnership with them. I literally just dropped this palette while I was about to film this, so totally shattered that this one's been loose. Both of these have been loose in the pan. But this orange shade, I actually used it in the video because I filmed it already and it was stunning. So I'm going to need to do some repair work on this, but how beautiful is this palette? And I don't have a ton of products from Kevyn Aucoin, but the few things I have are really nice. So hoping to try more of this brand in 2021. This is a old palette from ColourPop. This is the Her palette. This was their collab with Karrueche, and honestly, this is a really nice palette. I don't use it as much as I have in the past, but it's a beautiful palette. I bought this highlight and contour palette from Profusion in case I was going to do makeup on people with different skin tones than mine. So I did pick this up. I haven't used this yet, so I have no idea what this works like. It's an affordable contour highlight palette, so I'm going to hold on to it. This is the Glowing in Grease palette by BH Cosmetics. I really like these BH Cosmetics face palettes. You definitely don't need to buy all of them. They do have quite a few options. You guys know I love a good corally blush, so that was the main reason for me purchasing this. And how cute is this packaging? I have this Huda Beauty highlighting palette. I really don't use this as much as I would like. It's such a beautiful formula. This is her 3D highlighter palette, and this is what it looks like. I picked this Island Time palette from Ofra up pretty recently because I love this highlighter. I believe it's called Bali, and the blush shades are really pretty as well. I got this on a sale, so it was really affordable, which is what convinced me to pick it up. Not a huge fan of this packaging, but it's not the end of the world. I received a very generous PR package from Ofra this year, and they did include this Pro palette in that box. I have all these face palettes from one of my favorite brands, Kaleidos. These were two of their blushes that they launched, and then they also launched all of these contour and highlighting products. So I haven't opened this one. I believe this is the lightest shade. I think I'm gonna hold on to this just in case for reference for a future video. But these are so cute. I also got the chance to work with Lethal Cosmetics this year, and so I got these two face palettes from them in PR. This is their second color story, and this is the third one. They have a lighter shade and a darker shade than these two, but these are so nice and they're so sleek, and you can also build these palettes on their website, so I would highly recommend. I really like these two that they sent me. This Kimchi highlighting palette was sent to me from a subscriber. This is such a fun color story. I feel like if you really like kind of fun highlighting shades, you would really like this palette. I've tried some of the neutral highlighters and they're pretty nice, so I'm very happy that this was sent to me. I was sent these blush and sculpt palettes from Sigma Beauty because I also started working with Sigma this year, so I am an affiliate of Sigma Beauty. This is such a pretty blush palette. It has so many different shades. I really like the packaging, and this highlighting and contour palette is very nice as well. Some beautiful highlighters here on top, and then 3 different bronzy shades on the bottom. And how cute is this packaging? Next, I have this Noon palette from Midas, again another brand that I am an affiliate with. This was a big collaboration from Midas this year. They collabed with Neon MUA and made 4 face palettes that are friendly to different skin tones. I think this is the second palette from them, and I like this. It doesn't really work perfectly on my skin tone. It's a little bit light in the bronzer department, But I really like the highlighter. The blush is not my favorite color, but I really am glad I have this palette. And then this is kind of a singles palette, but I wanted to show it here because technically I feel like this is a face palette. So I have the blushes from Lethal Cosmetics, as well as one of their contour shades that they sent me this year as part of their face powder collection. Next, I have these two highlighting palettes from Dior. I honestly will say I don't get as much use out of these. I did really want the new ones they launched this year, but I told myself that since I was hardly reaching for these, I couldn't justify buying the other ones as well. I really like these. I just wish that they had categorized them by different skin tones instead of doing like monochromatic collections, because I feel like only 1 or 2 shades work for every single skin tone. So it's a little bit problematic, but I'm glad I have the 2 I have, but I have no intention of buying any more of these. This is probably one of the oldest face palettes in my collection. This is the original Jaclyn Hill and Becca collaboration palette. I feel like I hardly reach for this, but I also don't want to get rid of it because I feel like it's a little bit of makeup history, so I am going to hold on to that. I did pick up the Jaclyn Hill highlighter palette as well. I'm really annoyed with myself because I picked up the deeper palette and this is really too dark for me. The only shade that really works is this one, and the other 3 are a little too dark for my skin tone. So I wish I had picked differently, but I kind of wanted to show you guys these together because they kind of have a very similar vibe. Here is one of my other favorite Becca highlighter palettes. This is such a nice one. I picked this up in holiday, I think like 2015 or 16. And there's some good dips in this palette. I was trying so hard to pan this bronzer, but that never ended up happening. I really wish Becca would go back to making palettes like this because I remember looking forward to the holiday season just to pick up the Becca holiday palettes. So I have the 2 Juvia's Place blush palettes. I really like these palettes. I feel like they're so underrated. Not a lot of people talk about them because these launched quite a while ago. I wish Juvia's Place would almost like redo them or come up with a new volume, because I feel like for the price point, these are amazing, and especially volume 2, I feel like this is such a unique color story for the makeup market right now, and I feel like so many people with deeper skin tones would benefit from more shades like this, and I feel like Juvia's is a perfect brand for that. The 2 newest blush palettes in my collection, these are from Likely Makeup. Likely Makeup was on my list of brands I wanted to try this year, so I'm so happy I grabbed these because I feel like these blushes are pretty unique, so I'm very excited to play with these soon. This is the Scott Barnes cheek palette. This is so cool. I love this shade Mango Fizz, and I really need to play with this some more, so I'm planning on keeping this out on my makeup desk for the next couple of weeks and trying it out some more. Hopefully I will get some good use out of this. Here is another palette that I received from Ofra when they sent me PR this year. It's a huge face palette. I think I have enough highlighters and blushes and bronzers from Ofra for my next life, so very grateful to them for sending this over. I have this highlighter palette from Odin's Eye. This is the Solomon palette, and I picked this up when I decided to try Odin's Eye this year, so here is what the palette looks like. It's a little bit icy for my skin tone, but I can get away with using this for the most part. Okay, next I have this Hourglass Holiday palette. I can't remember what year this is from, but I had one from like 2015, so I think this one is 2017, and I decluttered the older one and I kept this one. I honestly don't reach for this that much, so it's nice though. I really like these Hourglass palettes. I did not buy the one from 2020 because I have so much left of this palette. I did pick up this Hourglass Strobe highlighting palette because so many people were raving about this, and it did finally come back in stock on the Hourglass website. Honestly, I want to love this, but unfortunately I feel like these shades are a little too light for my skin tone. I like a highlight that like really blends into my high points of my cheeks. I don't like it when I can see a streak of color, so I feel like these are a little too light for me. If you are tanner or deeper skin tone than me, I would caution you because this is a pretty pricey product, and I know a lot of my favorite YouTubers rave about this, and I think it makes sense if you have like a light medium skin tone, but for my skin tone and darker, I feel like I would say don't spend your money on this. This is my newest Hourglass palette. This is called the, what is this even called? The Illume Sheer Color Trio. I really like this, but again, if you are darker than me, I would say don't pick this up because it's going to be too light. I really like the look this cream palette gives me. It is so sheer and beautiful and just makes my skin look so flawless. So I really, really like this. I'm glad I picked it up, but I know it's not going to work on somebody darker than me. This palette was a gift from my friend Angelica when I met her, and I was so excited because I really wanted to try this palette. This is the Linda Hallberry Infinity Deep palette, and you guys know I'm a sucker for a red blush, so I was really excited when Angie gifted this to me. Also a nice copper blush, always gets me going. The cool thing about these palettes is they're multi-use, so you can use them on your eyes, on your face, etc. Next is a product fail for me. These are the Salt New York cream palettes. I have mine in this palette so that they all fit in here. The thing is, this launch was kind of a mess. They did like a pre-order and then it took forever for the product to come. I'm guessing it was like half COVID, half just the fact that it's a small indie brand. So be cautioned when you're ordering from them. Things may take time. And honestly, I feel like I'm not 100% in love with the cream products. So I would just say proceed with caution on these. This NARS Orgasm palette was such a hit of 2020. I was gifted this from Look Fantastic, but my friend Britt Clark was raving about this, which is what got me interested in this palette. And honestly, she was not wrong. This highlighter is very, very beautiful. NARS Orgasm X is a really pretty blush. The shade in the middle is the original Orgasm blush, but the Orgasm X is more up my alley at this moment in time. I love a hot coral blush, so this is a really nice palette. If you're able to get your hands on it, I would recommend this. I've seen this palette for like $10 on Sephora, and the reason I bought this is because this orange shade I thought would be maybe a dupe of the Taj Mahal blush from NARS. I've always lusted after Taj Mahal, but I have not ended up picking that up. I'm happy with this palette. I don't even reach for this enough, so I really can't justify buying Taj Mahal on its own. But if you guys are of a deeper skin tone, you might really like this palette from Sephora. And they do have other shades as well for different skin tones. So definitely consider looking into this if you're on the hunt for a good blush palette. So I really, really wanted this OPV Born to Shine blush palette, and I was so excited when they featured this in the Trend Mood Black owned brand box, and I picked it up. This is a massive blush palette. It's such a generous pan size, and again, another blush that looks like it might be a dupe for Taj Mahal. So very excited that I have this. I really haven't used it enough. I need to try this more, but isn't it so beautiful? Okay, here's another face palette that I kind of regret purchasing. This is the Danessa Myricks Lightworks palette, but this is the more medium to deep skin tone palette, and I wish I had gone for maybe the light medium. Maybe I would have been able to use those highlighters more. These ones are just a little bit too dark for me. That's a hard thing about my skin tone, is that I feel like sometimes when they only do a light palette and a dark palette, the whole middle section kind of gets missed out, or we have to buy both palettes and then kind of use 3 shades from one and 3 shades from the other. So that's a bit of a disappointment. I wish all brands in general would kind of try and make 3 or 4 ranges if they're making face palettes. So I really like Danessa Myricks as a brand, but this is definitely not my favorite highlighting palette. Last but not least, I think I picked this up MAC Holiday 2018. I can't remember, but this palette's actually really nice. I know it looks really basic, but it performs really beautifully on my skin tone. All of these are shimmery blush and highlighter bronzer kind of shades, so I really enjoy these, and I really like this pretty pink marble packaging they did for this holiday collection. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed my face palette collection. Oh my gosh, I really love my face palettes. I have so many good ones, and those Becca ones bring back such good holiday memories. Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Bye guys!